Okay, I want to acknowledge you guys for being willing to work on yourself. That's a way of honoring God and yourself. And giving this time to yourself is so important. So since the pandemic, I've been doing mantra breathing on myself every week, and I always have that paper next to me, and I jot down things I hear. And these turn out to be books. Outside the Box with Babaji, and he's talking to me. So I'm finally going to do what he told me. He said, you need to read this to people. So this chapter is on overcoming fear. So first of all, I want to say something about fear. You may think you don't have fear because you're not feeling scared right now. But there is only love or fear, according to the Course in Miracles. So anything that is not love would be fear. So symptoms in your body would be fear then, you see. You're suppressing the fear, and the fear is turning into a symptom. So problems in your life that are not love would be fear. So we all don't realize how much fear we actually have. So fear is the ego. So we want to let go of anything that's not love. And anything that's not love would be fear, even though it may not feel scary. The thing I realized is that your symptoms are due to fear. So we think fear is real. We're using fear to replace love. We do not need to fear if we place the future in the hands of God. Are we willing to do that? I place the future in the hands of God. That would be the solution. But we would have to learn to trust the unknown. The unknown is God. The unknown is therefore safe. But we somehow believe the unknown is dangerous. But the unknown is God, and that's where the safety is. So the Course in Miracles has a couple lessons. Lesson 240 says, fear is not even justified in any form. And 323 says, I gladly make the sacrifice of fear. And 293 says, all fear is past and only love is here. I really like that one. All fear is past and only love is here. So people tend to fear that something bad is going to happen, and they have catastrophic thinking. But some people even have fear that something good will happen because, for example, people want miracles, but they have a fear of miracles. So if you want a miracle, you need to pray to the Holy Spirit first to let go of the fear of the miracle. Miracles are kind of a shock to people's belief systems. So let's say you want a miracle healing, or you want a miracle in your business. You need to have the ability to let go of the fear of the miracle. Now, if we had no fear at all, we would never even attract things that are dangerous. See, we say, life is dangerous. People have that thought. There's a danger out there. And that makes a lot of fear. But fear actually attracts danger. That's the thing you need to get. Say, well, there's danger out there and I have fear. No, your fear attracts danger. Fear comes before the danger. Now, some people will say, well, I have a fear of giving up fear. Why? We should ask ourselves, why? Because we would be in ecstasy without any fear at all, and we're kind of afraid of ecstasy because it's unfamiliar. So we must be willing to find the thought causing the fear. So right now, look and say, my biggest fear in my whole life is. Say that to yourself and listen for the answer in your head. My biggest fear in my whole life is. Okay, and what is the thought causing that fear? The thought causing that fear is. This is how you process yourself. You have to be willing to give up the thought that's causing your fear. And then you must turn that thought over to the Holy Spirit and let the Holy Spirit take it. So let's breathe a little on that now. Whatever you came up with, your biggest fear in your whole life, start breathing that out while I'm talking. Breathe it out. And you inhale love and you exhale the fear. Inhale love, exhale the fear. Fear also causes pain in the body. So if you have any pain in your body, you are holding on to the fear. Holding on to the fear. Why are you holding on to the fear when it's not good for you? Well, fear and happiness cannot occupy the same space. So if you're going to hold on to the fear, you won't be happy. Some people don't process their fear because they think it's too scary to look at their fear. But this is why we have this breathing, so we can breathe out the fear. Most people, they just suppress the fear, suppress the fear, suppress the fear, and it causes symptoms, sickness, old age, and disasters. If you can give up fear, then you can be totally relaxed. And that's what we want, is peace and relaxation. I allow the Holy Spirit to take from me whatever prevents me from being totally relaxed. I allow the Holy Spirit to take from me whatever prevents me from being totally safe and totally relaxed. A lot of people, as you get older, they have a temptation to think they're going to get some condition that they can never get over. So never say never. Be very careful that you don't say, I'll never get over this, whatever this is. Be very careful. Never say never. Because if you say, oh, I'll never get over this, then you're stuck and you won't get over it. So we need to keep saying, all fear is gone, only love is here. Now, what I had to do to get over some conditions in my body that were due to fear is I had to decide that I'm not going to make fear real. And that was really a challenge for me. So I had to work on this. I no longer believe in fear. I no longer believe in fear. This is what I had to write for myself. I am no longer subject to fear. I'm no longer subject to fear. I'm beyond that. I allow the Holy Spirit to take my whole belief in fear. I accept the atonement for myself. That would be the release of all fear. I accept the grace of Babaji. I no longer believe in fear. I no longer make it real. See, it's not real. This is what you have to get, because the ego, it's the ego. And the ego is not real because the ego is due to separation and there is no separation. Therefore, the ego is not real. Therefore, fear is not real. And this is how you get through it. I no longer believe in fear. It's not real. I forgive myself for making it real. And I can stop making fear real. I am able to stop making fear real. I am able to stop making my ego real. I am able to stop making my symptoms real. We may want to have enlightenment. Enlightenment is our goal here. Enlightenment is when you trade in the ego's thought system for the Holy Spirit's thought system. Enlightenment will only bring you joy. That's what you're craving, is the joy. The opposite of fear would be love and joy. Sometimes people are afraid when too many good things happen, then they think, oh, the shoe is going to drop. So they're afraid of good things. The more good things happen, the more you attract good things. Anyway, we're not trying to master fear. That just gives it more power. And the more I wrestled with fear and tried to master it, the worse I got. So the answer to the whole thing is to replace the fear with God's love. Perfect love casts out fear. So instead of wrestling with the fear and trying to just, get rid of it and wrestling with it, I allow perfect love to cast out my fear. Grace and mercy can remove the fear. Breathing out the fear is actually fun. So today I want you to have fun letting go of the fear. Some people have a thought, I can't make it. It's like a birth. They might have a thought from birth. I'm not going to make it through this birth canal. I was born at home, so my birth wasn't too bad, but I still had this fear, I can't make it. I might not be okay and I can't make it. Those are kind of birth thoughts. I can't make it and I might not be okay. Let's let go of those thoughts today. They cause fear. I am okay and I am making it. So the thing you need to get is that fear is like an addiction. So addictions, you have to have a higher power to help you with addictions. Fear is an addiction. Any addiction you have is related to fear. That's why you have the addiction. But fear itself is an addiction. Fear no longer exists in my reality. That's another statement that you can make. So let's all forgive ourselves for indulging in fear, indulging in the ego, and making fear real. The more we give up our fear, the more the joy of God can come out. It's there, it's just suppressed. If you're not feeling joy, it's because you're suppressing it with the fear. Now, worry is just indulging in fear. Doubt is fear. So when we're giving up fear, we want to give up worry, we want to give up doubt, and fear all together. They all go together. Worry, doubt, and fear, we're going to give them all up. We cannot stop worrying until we let go of the fear causing the worry. Worry is a waste of our time. So we have the power to change every fear thought for a happy thought. Perfect love casts out fear. And sometimes people, they don't rely on the Holy Spirit to take away their fear or their doubt or their worry, because they think, well, that would be too easy. The Course in Miracles says, one reason you don't rely on the Holy Spirit to take it away is it's too easy. You think it's going to be really hard, and you couldn't imagine somebody making it easy for you. Well, everything that's not working in your life, I want you to get this, everything that's not working in your life is due more or less to fear. So let's today close with asking the Holy Spirit to take away our fear of miracles and our fear in general. Holy Spirit, help me see that fear is not real. Forgive me for making fear real. Help me to deny fear. Since the separation is not real, therefore fear is not real. And let us replace the fear with faith. Babaji says faith is everything. Faith is everything. Reciting Om Namah Shivaya will help you get over fear. Releasing fear makes you feel great. Whatever is in me that needs to happen to safely release all my fear happens now. The Holy Spirit shows me how to stop making fear real. I am able to stop making fear real today.
I just want to say a few things about this book before we start the mantras. I had a wonderful time putting it together. I format all of Sandra's books and do the artwork, and it was a joy. And some of the pages, I highlighted some of the key elements in the book, like this page, and I blew them up and I put Babaji's feet by the, behind the type. And this one is, we cannot let in God's love when we are angry. Well, that's a whole other subject. Today was about fear, but anger is another way you sabotage yourself. We cannot let in God's love when we are angry. We block it. We have free will to keep God out by keeping our anger. God is right there, but cannot penetrate us when we keep our anger. So that's a little tidbit, that's in this book, and I hope you'll buy it. It's on Amazon if you don't have it already. And yeah. So I want to also say something about Om Namah Shivaya. It's a great antidote when you're feeling anxiety in your life, or fear, or something's coming up that's challenging. And we all can use a boost sometimes from higher up, from the forces that be. Some people call it God, some people call it the universe. We can call it the Divine Mother, we can call it Babaji, the Dream Team. But it's from a spiritual dimension. It's from another dimension, a fifth dimension. So this mantra that Babaji gave us, Om Namah Shivaya, he said that is the most powerful utterance, in the universe. It's more powerful than the atomic bomb. And then he instructed us to recite it on a mala. And this is a mala, has 108 beads. Don't ask me why 108 is so significant, but it is. So you get a mala, and with your thumb and not your index finger, the next finger, you grab the first bead and you just say Om Namah Shivaya. Then you go to the next one, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And then when you get all the way around to the end and you've said 108 Om Namah Shivayas, there's a bead with the string on it, and that's not counted. You grab that bead, and then you turn the mala around and you go back the other way. You don't cross that guru bead, they call it. So you use that bead to turn it around, and then you back around again. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So during the pandemic, there was a lot of anxiety that people were feeling, and we were instructed to do at least 10 rounds, which would be 1,080 Om Namah Shivayas, because there's 108 beads on one round. Do at least 10 rounds a day, and I think we ended up doing maybe 10 rounds in the morning and 10 rounds in the evening. And it kept us very clear during the pandemic. We didn't have any effect of the COVID at all. We never had it. We never got Some of our friends had it, but it didn't affect us. So Om Namah Shivaya is a good protection, antidote, deterrent of fear, one of the best you could have. And I have a little story. When we were in India in the spring, our head of our ashram, Dr. Lal, made this statement that Babaji had said, the Om Namah Shivaya mantra doesn't get fully activated until you've said 625,000 Om Namah Shivayas. So I thought to myself, well, okay, I know I've done thousands of Om Namah Shivayas over the years, but I never kept a record. So I started keeping a record of my Om Namah Shivayas. The past was the past, and now is the now, and I heard that. So I would do 5,000 in a day, and I'd write it down, or I'd do 2,000, I'd write it down. Well, 3 days ago, I completed my 625,000 Om Namah Shivayas, and it was the same day I was considering buying a new bicycle. And I think I told you, 17 years ago, I had a bike accident and I nearly killed myself. I had broken ribs and I couldn't work for a week, and my bike was wrecked. And I kind of decided, I'm not going to get another bike. And Sandra and I talked about it, and we processed it. And then I realized every bike I had in my life, all from childhood, I wrecked and had a major wipeout, right? So we were saying, I don't think it's a good idea to get another bike. And then after I said the 625,000 Om Namah Shivayas, I thought, well, why should I deprive myself of something that brought me so much joy out of fear? That's the subject of this talk, right? Out of fear of me wrecking this bike. It's like using the past as a reference point and having catastrophic thinking. So I said to myself, I'm not going to succumb to fear. And yesterday I went and bought my beautiful Cannondale new mountain bike. So that's just a little testimony from my end.